Good morning to all of you. Today we are going to study the next topic, that is purchase books. Okay, so we are studying the chapter 9, and in that we studied about the special purpose subsidiary books, and we saw what is a special purpose subsidiary books, and what are the different types of special purpose subsidiary books. So now we are going to study each of them in detail. The first one is cash book, and the cash book which you have already studied, so there is no need of explaining much about that. So the first one that we have to study is about the purchase book. Purchase book is also called bought day book, purchases journal, or invoice book. There are some other names used for the purchase book. It is used to record all credit purchase of goods which is meant for resale in the business. However, cash purchases of goods, cash and credit purchases of assets are not entered in this book. So this book includes only the credit sales or credit purchases. Okay, credit purchases are included in this book, and cash purchases are not included in this book. And purchases made for the other purposes, like purchases made for the purpose of resale, only will be considered. So like goods are the things which is purchased for the purpose of reselling and making profit. So only the purchases of the goods are considered. If any assets or any other materials are purchased, those things will not be included in the purchase book. Now let us see the format of the purchase book. So there are there are some 6 columns are there. So you can see. So this way the purchases book is made, and the first column is for date, particulars, invoice number, then ledger folio LF, then details, and total amount. Okay, so you can see this is the format of a purchase book. So here explanations of the columns of purchase books are there. So the first one, like here in the beginning it is given about the date, so you know that date we have to mention, and when we are making a purchase on that date, date is mentioned. And the next column, the biggest column in this one, is a particulars column. So in particulars column, the column records name and place of the seller from whom goods are purchased on credit, quantity, trademark, rate, etc., and a small description of the articles purchased. One must be careful while recording particulars, because it is not recorded just like a journal, even being a subdivision of the journal. The difference is evident from the format itself. So here we have to give the clear details. We have to be careful about giving the details about that. So the name of the seller from where we are purchasing these products, and details of that. So all the details will be details about the product also will be clearly mentioned in this particulars column. And invoice number, next invoice number. Invoice number will be just like when you are purchasing a product, you will be getting a bill also. At that bill number, that invoice number will be recorded in this one. And the next column is for ledger folio LF. So ledger folio will be there, see, like when we are posting. See, like if transaction is made, this transaction will be transferred to another ledger, and in which page number, the page number of the ledger will be mentioned in this one. And the details, in this details column we are mentioning about the divisions, or like a part of that. So calculations based on this one. See, like how many number of products we have purchased, and how much is there, or if any discount is to be reduced, or so 2-3 products together if we have purchased, all these things will be added. All these calculations, like detailed explanation, will be written in this one. And the last one is called the total amount. So at the end, when all the calculations are over, then we calculate the total amount, and that total amount will be mentioned in this one. And only this amount will be transferred to the ledgers. Okay, so when we are transferring, see, like all the details will be mentioned in this one, and the total amount will be written there. And this, for like if we hear this like Mohan, okay, So Mohan account is made and all the details we are writing, and see like some 200 rupees purchase is there, here 300 rupees, here 500 rupees, and altogether there is a transaction of 1000 rupees. So this 1000 rupees, when you transfer this amount to the other persons, like a ledger of Mohan, then we write only the total amount. You understand? So the subdivisions and other details are clearly there. Okay, so all each and everything you need not to see in the ledgers. So only in the ledger that will be there, Mohan account will be made, and this one the amount will be only mentioned there. So that is very clearly we can understand about this details. Okay, so that is about the different explanation of the columns of purchase book. Next we have to study is about the features of purchase book. What are the important features of purchase book? It records only credit purchase of goods which is in which business is involved for trading. So if we whatever the transactions that we are making, only that transactions will be made, and credit sales, credit purchases will be only included in this one. And it ignores cash purchases of goods in which the business is involved in for trading, since they are recorded in the cash book. So we don't include the cash purchases because that transaction is already recorded in the cash book. Okay, so we studied about cash book, and we studied that all the transactions made with the cash is entered in the cash book. So here purchase book means only credit transactions which we have not paid the money, that only will be included in this one. Okay, and it records only the net amount from invoices that have been received from the suppliers. So we will be including only the last amount, final amount, net amount will be added in this one. It records purchase particulars in a great detail, unlike the journal. So here all the purchase details, like how many products have been purchased, at what price it has been purchased, all the details, each and every details will be clearly mentioned in this book. Okay, so this is about that. So here let us see one example is given there. So let us see the problem there. So like the following are the credit purchase of MS Modi Book Depot, Delhi, for the month of June 2017. Enter them into purchases book and post them into the ledger. So we have to enter. There are some transactions given there, and that transactions we have to enter into the book of this purchase book. We have to enter. Okay. Let us see how to make it. So first, the name of the company we have to mention, like Modi Book Depot. Under that we write purchase book. Okay, so we have to write the purchase book there under that. So clearly there should be sufficient space. There is no space for me, that's why I just write like that. When you are making, you have to write this one as well as the purchase book also, you have to clearly write there. Okay, then first transactions that we, or each and every transaction that we have to enter into this one. So first transaction is made on June 5, bought from Mohan Books, Delhi, 100 copies of Commerce by Proof by Professor Kamla at 125 each, and 50 copies of Advanced Accounts by Professor Jain at 150 each, and less 20% of trade discount. So the first transaction that is there, two types of books have been purchased. One is 100 copies, and the other one is 50 copies. Okay, so first we have to put the date. So here we will be mentioning the year, and the date will be there, first June 15. Okay, so the date is clearly mentioned there, and after that we have to mention the particulars. So in the particulars column, first we will write the name of the person, like Mohan Books. Delhi. So from where we have made the purchase, that is shop's name, and the place of the shop is clearly mentioned there. Okay, then what are the things that we have purchased? So details of the books or the things that we have purchased, that we have to clearly mention there, like 100 copies of Commerce by Professor Kamala at the rate 125 each. So we have to select for one book it is 125 is there and 100 copies are there. So the total amount that we are calculating that we have to return there. Then next we have to purchase 50 copies of advanced account by Professor J at the rate of 150. Okay, so this one the amount will be 7,500. And one more transaction, another one we have to study is that the 20% of the trade discount is made. So first for that we have to total the amount there. So total we are getting, so to 20,000 rupees purchase is made and we received a less 20% discount. So we have a discount 20%. So when you make a 20% of discount, we have to calculate the 20% of 20,000 rupees. So the 20% of 20,000 rupees is 4,000 that we have to reduce from this amount. So when you reduce, we get a 16,000 rupees. Okay. So this amount, the total after calculating everything, the final amount is written on the total amount column. Okay, so the details are clearly mentioned in this one. So only the final amount will be written on the total amount column. Okay, so that is over. So you can make a just line there that in order to show that the first transaction is over. Then the second transaction is on the June 15. Okay, and that is from Raji Publishers. Okay, the Raju Publishers, and what are the things that is purchased is clearly 100 copies of commercial law. So you have to write full things in detail. I am just writing only CL by Professor Mehra. At rupees 155. Okay, so the total amount is 1,500. So 15,500 rupees is there, and another transaction is there, 100 copies of statistics by Professor Han at the rate of rupees 155. That is also 15,500 rupees. And there is also there is a discount is given for less discount. So if the less discount is there, so the total we have to calculate how much is the total of this one. So 31,000, and 20% discount of that is 6,200. So when you reduce this one, we get a 24,800. So this amount will be getting, and again see like a packing and forwarding charges are there. So see like here it is here in the problem it is given, but the packing and the forwarding charges of 200 were included. So that money also we have to specify in this one. So we have to reduce the amount of that. Okay, so add packing and forwarding charges. that is of 200. So all that transaction is over, the final amount is there, so we have to add this one. 24,800 is there and 200 is there, packing charges, so total amount will be 25,000. So the full amount, final amount will be written on this one, and we will be closing this one also. This, in order to show that this account is over. So one more is there that we have to make is the June 25. Okay, and the name of Chitra Book Depot. Chitra Book Depot, Kurukshetra. Place is here. And what are the things that we have purchased? 25 copies of income tax. 25 copies of income tax. I am just writing IT, you can write fully income tax by Professor Jain. At rupees 140 each. So the total amount is 3,500. And one more purchase is 25 copies of company law. Okay, so CL I am writing by Professor Mehra at the rate of 135 each, and the amount is 3,375. Okay, so for this transaction there is no discount or any other charges and all are not there, so we can add up the total amount and write in the next column. So that is 6,875 total. These two you have to add and write the final value. Okay, then so that is the over all the transactions we have ended. So now at the last we have to transfer this amount to the purchase account. Okay, so for that purpose we have to make a last date. We will be putting June 30. Purchase account letter. And the total amount we have to write 47,875. Okay, so at last we have to calculate the total amount of. So here all this total, this one and this one, all this total we have to write and write the total amount, and this will be transferred to the purchase account, debit side of the purchase account. So that transaction is clearly mentioned there. So after that we have to close the account also fully. Okay, so here we can say that there are some transactions which are not included in this one. Okay, let us see what are the some transactions which are not included. Okay, see, like the purchase one typewriter worth rupees 5,000 from Akash Brothers. So there is a transaction given there. Okay, so there is a transaction, and this transaction is not included in the books or purchase book. Why? It is because it is not purchased for the, it is for the usage of the company it is purchased, not for the purpose of reselling. So we will be including only things which are purchased for resale. Okay, so we will not simply include the things, everything that we are purchasing, but we will include only the things which we purchased for resale. Okay, and there is a transaction also given, like on June 30 there is a bought from Vikas Books Bandar Ambala for cash. So that transaction is there, it is already purchased, but that is only cash purchase. So cash purchase we need not to enter into the purchase book. Okay, so we will be entering only the, in this purchases books we have to enter only the transactions made for credit. Okay, we need not to enter any transactions which are made for cash, or the transactions which are, or the purchases that we have made for any other uses. We have made purchase for the purpose of resale. Only those things we have to include in this one. Okay. So that is about the purchases book. So here next we have to study is about the ledger posting from purchase book. So how to make ledger posting, how to post these transactions into ledger. Okay. So posting in personal accounts. First, there are two types of transactions are there. Like here we have made transactions of Mohan Books. So this is coming as a personal account, and Rajiv Publishers. This is also as a personal account. So three transactions are there. So these three transactions of, we have to make a general accounts of these three personal accounts, and the last amount which we have mentioned, like here purchases account, that will be transferred to the purchases account. So that much only we have to do. So here purchases book records the names of those suppliers from whom goods are purchased on credit. Separate accounts are opened in the ledger for each supplier, and their accounts are credited by recording on their credit side by purchases account, and the amount payable to them is shown against it. Date of purchase is also recorded in the column of the date. And posting in a purchase account, monthly total of the purchases book is debited to the purchases account in the ledger by recording on its debit side to sundries as per purchases book, and the amount of monthly total of purchase book is shown against the end of the month. It should be noted that only credit purchases are recorded in the purchase book, and cash purchases are recorded in the cash book. Thus, it is essential that the posting of cash and credit purchase be made in purchases account simultaneously, so that the total purchases can be known. Posting of above mentioned problems will be detailed. So here we can now study about how these transactions are posted. Okay, I am going to erase this one, and we are based on this data we will be entering. So you have to, if you have completely, if you want, you can note down these transactions. So here we can see the different types of accounts, the ledger accounts that we have made. So different ledger accounts are there. So what are the, so when we made the purchases book, what are the different types of ledgers are there? So all the ledgers for all the names of the all persons names are there. For all each persons we have to make a ledger account. So here we have made all these ledger accounts. So now we have to enter the amount. So if we have seen that previous transactions are there. So the first transaction was made from this Mohan Books, and the total amount. So here we have to mention the total amount. So first one is Mohan Books are there, Delhi, and here you can see that the account is made, two sides are there, debit side and credit side. Okay, and it is divided into two separate sections. So here date, particulars, ledger folio and amount is written, and in this side also date, particulars and ledger folio and amount is written. Okay, so there are two sides. So when we studied, when you made the previously when we made about purchases books, we did not make a separate side board for debit and credit. So because we enter the credit transactions, and mostly only one side transactions will be coming, because purchases only one type of transactions are coming there. So that is why we don't make it into two separate sides. So here all the transactions we have to make it into debit side and credit side. Both sides of transactions have to be made. So according to the different dates given, we have to enter the informations. Like here, first one is the Mohan Books Delhi. That purchase was made on the 5th of June. So we have to mention like 2017 June 5. Okay, date is to be mentioned, and in particulars we have tried purchases account. Okay, by purchases account, and the only we have to mention the total amount. Okay, no need of explaining all the details, anything, only the, because all the details are written in the purchase book, we are now entering only the total amount of that, so that we will be entering there. Then next transaction was made on Rajiv Publishers, and that is on June 15. So we will write June 15, 2017. Date we have to mention, and here also we write by purchases account. and the amount 25,000. So that amount we have to write. And the third transaction was to Chitra Book Depot, Kurukshetra, and that is on 25th of June. So there also we have to like Chitra Book Depot, Kurukshetra, that we have to write, and the date is 25th June 25. And on the particulars we have to write by purchases account. By purchases account, how much rupees is there? 6,875. Okay. So there were 3 transactions that we have made, and all the 3 transactions we have entered. So we recorded only 3 credit transactions. Okay, there were many other transactions, but only 3 credit transactions were there. That 3 transactions we have entered in the purchase book, and those transactions now we posted into the ledger also. Okay, now we have to make a purchase account. So earlier we made that is a purchase book. So in that all the details are written. Now we have to make a purchase account. So purchase account will be made in the like this. There are 2 columns, like a debit side will be there and the credit side will be there. 2 sides are there, and same just like a normal ledger account we make this one. So here that 2, and in this purchase account we have to include both the transactions. Like in purchase book we are entering only the credit transactions, but now in this one we are entering both the credit transaction as well as the cash transaction also. Okay, so we have to mention that first one on the last one we have to make is June 30. So first transaction was there 2017 June 30. Okay, and we have tried to cash account. So when see like it is coming in the cash account, here we are writing about cash account because this transaction we already entered in the cash account. When we made the cash, it is a cash purchase, so we have made like a purchase account to cash. So that is already there, so we have to write it there. Okay, so already there, it is already we have made, and it is we have cash account, it is already there, or so we have to write it in the purchase account also to cash account, and the amount, total amount has to be mentioned there, that is 7,000. Total there are 2 transactions are there, 60 copies of accountancy and this one, so altogether it is coming 7,680. 7,680. Okay, so that is made, and so like we made the purchases book we have made. So whatever total amount that is coming, we will be recording as the 2 sundries as per purchases books. So here we have to mention the next one, that is also June 30. 2 sundries as per purchases book. 2 sundries as per purchases book. We have to mention it like that. And the amount, the total, when we made the purchases book, all the transaction, total amount of that transaction, that we have to write 47,875. So that was the total amount that we have to mention there. So this is the way to enter the transactions. So this by this one the transactions will be over. Okay, so this is the way that we have to enter different transactions into the purchases book and posting these transactions into the ledger accounts. Okay, now let us study about some miscellaneous terms are there. So here we mostly, when we are dealing with this one, there are some terms or words we will be getting into familiar. So what are those things that we will study? Like this, first one is called as the trade discount. So what is a trade discount? So already we have mentioned that the 20% of trade discount we have received. Trade discount is an allowance of or a concession granted by the seller to the buyer if the customer purchases goods. So there are like if above a certain quantity or above a certain amount regularly or on a timely basis. So these like some companies, when we are purchasing goods from some companies, they will be giving some discount, that is called as the trade discount. So the trade discount is given for maybe for bulk purchase or because we are having a regular transactions with that company. So if we are a good customer and the company do not want to lose us, so that is why that company will be making. So or we are making a bulk purchase. When you make a like large quantity, if you are purchasing from a wholesale shop a bulk quantity, if you are purchasing, then they will give you a trade discount. So that is a trade discount. Okay. The next one is called a cash discount. Okay, sale of goods on credit lets customers enjoy a flexibility of settling the payment at a certain future date. However, in order to encourage them to make the payment before the expiry of the credit period, a deduction is offered. This deduction is known as a cash discount. For example, if Radha purchases goods of worth rupees 10,000 on a 60 days credit, then as per the term of contract, she is authorized to make the payment 60 days after the date of purchase. If she is offered a cash discount of 2% on payment within 15 days, and if she accepts it and settles the payment within 15 days, then she is entitled to deduct 200 from the invoice price and pay only 9,800 in case 2,000 is a cash discount. So do you understand cash discount? Cash discount means that's like when we are making purchases, we get a credit. Okay, so the time they are giving is like a 60 days time, 1 month time they will be giving. So you make a purchase of 10,000 rupees and they will give you, you can purchase it for credit, no need to pay the money, but you will pay the money. They will give a time for paying the money, that is 30 days time. So 30 days time or 60 days time, they will be giving, different companies will be providing different dates. So if 60 days duration is received, but they also say that, see, like they have to, if they have to get the money, then they have to wait for 2 months, 60 days time. But they want, if they want to get the money immediately, so then their other activities will be there. So they will be telling, they will say that we will give you 2% discount if you pay within 15 days time. Okay, so 15 days period is given for the cash discount. So if we settle this money within the 15 days time, 2 months time is there, we can pay within 2 months time, or even after 2 months time, 2 months period is already received. But if you complete the payment before 15 days, then we will get a 2% discount. So that kind of discount is called as the cash discount. Okay. The next one is a CST or a central sales tax. When goods are sold outside a particular state, the tax levied on such interstate sales is a central sales tax. So these sales tax, all these things are already included in GST. So now these type of problems are there, but you just have to understand what it is there. So sales tax means that when you are making a transactions, like if we are producing these products and selling in another state, then we have to pay a tax. That tax is called as a central sales tax. The next one is called as a value added tax. Presently, local sales tax has been replaced by the value added tax. When goods are sold within the state, the value added tax is charged. Okay. So when the product is sold within the state, then that is coming in the value added tax. So but now GST is there, so these type of taxes are not included. Freight or cartage, suppliers include freight charges which is required to deliver the goods in the invoice. The total invoice value thus consists of cost and freight. A separate column is provided in the purchase book to record freight. The total freight column is posted on the debit side of a freight account in the ledger. See, like for delivering this product to the customers, there may be like transportation charges or other charges, carrier charges are there. So that charges are coming in the category of freight charges. Then next one is called as packing charges. See, like if you have to transport these goods from one place to another, then packing is required. So for that additional charges are there. Like freight charges, similar treatment is awarded for packaging charges. Packaging charges are shown separately in the invoice, and a separate column is also provided for it in the purchase book. The total packaging charges column is posted to the debit side of packaging charges account in the ledger on monthly basis. So these transactions are entered into the account based on that. Okay, so such a way it will be entered into the different books. Okay, the purchase book it is there, so it will be entering. So it is showing like additional charges when we had made, see like here before that product, just before we have done the product and in that there is a packaging charges for this that we have added. So the same way this will be treated. Okay, so that is about the purchases book. Okay, thank you so much.